Welcome back to the community, everybody, and thanks for being here. When you get a chance, stop down into the description and check out the website and check out the members rides. Lots of cool stuff there. Today, we are doing a fuel filter relocation to get it out of the engine compartment. I know some of you are going to say, it's okay, I've had mine in there, but with all that heat from that air-cooled engine, with them plastic filters especially, when they get hot, they can crack and you're spilling fuel all over the distributor. You don't need that. We had enough engine fires in the past from others. Okay, let's take a look at the bracket my buddy bought. It's a 74 standard Beetle he brought over, and we're going to go ahead and help him out, and you'll see him in the film too. Stay tuned. This is my buddy Casey. He picked the car up in North Carolina, so he went quite a few states away to get that. So,
buddy Jared and I traveled down a trailer and hauled it back.
Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, did you know the car was in good shape, or was you just chancing it before you got there?
Well, I've been searching for months in a potato marketplace, and I dove on it within 4 hours. Kind of hoping.
Nice.
Just hoping.
Now, when you went down, did you have a trailer with you? Did you have something ready?
Yeah, we took a trailer and a truck, a magnet to check for rust.
Right.
And gave it a quick overlook, drove it around, and I don't know, I was sold.
It was funny because when he was down there, my neighbor was with him. And a funny story is he got on YouTube to look and see what to check on a Beetle, and he came up with my video not knowing I had a channel and said, I know that guy, it's my neighbor. So that was kind of great, you know?
And that's what brought us together, and now we're friends.
It did. And he only lives 5 minutes from me. Really?
Yeah,
hey.
Right.
Okay, so now what you're looking at here is you can see the fuel filter buried back in there. Some of you guys have them coming around the top and down, but we're going to eliminate that. You see it back in there? Okay, that could be bad. Now, he didn't do this. He bought the car that way. So I'm going to show you what he got that will help us. You can probably manipulate it on the transaxle yourself, but he bought a really cool bracket off the Samba, and I'll have him show it to you right now. He bought a relocation bracket for moving the fuel filter. He bought it off the Samba. You see a picture right here. And it makes it much easier. This guy puts a lot of them out, so you can show them a little closer, and it bolts right to the transaxle. So we'll show you how it goes together and goes on there, and then of course we're going to eliminate the one in the fuel compartment and put new hose there. So let's do it. Okay, so we're underneath the car here. I didn't take the bolts out yet to put the bracket in place, but one thing I've already run into is that's about where it would be positioned, okay? But the metal line stops right here. So I'm gonna have to take a tubing cutter and cut this back a little bit further and then put a hose on from there. So I don't know if you all run into this. It depends on the length of your metal tube coming out of the chassis, but more than likely yours is gonna be the same. So you might encounter cutting this back a little bit further, which is fine. But I'll go ahead and spin these nuts off of here. We'll mount it in place so that I know how far back I need to cut that. Break the 13 millimeters loose. I thought it stopped recording. Now watch that your studs don't come out with that. If they do, you can thread them back in. But I can't get a ratchet on where that is, so I got to use a box end wrench. And it's getting there. Okay, now I got a 1/4 inch drive on there, and we'll go ahead, spin that one off. That is also holding the clutch bracket in place, but you're okay because you still got the top one holding it on. Let's pop the ratchet off and spin it out of the way, and grab your washer. My hand's in your way right now. There you go. And now we're going to set this in place so I know where I need to cut that line back. So slip it down in there. There we go. So that's in place. The metal line is clear up to here. We're going to have to cut it back to at least here, so I'm going to get something to mark it with. Okay, so once you know about where you need to cut it, I'm going to cut it back here just so I can get a little piece of hose on. So you'll need a small tubing cutter, and I'm going to mark it about right there. And that should be plenty for me to put a hose on there. Okay. Okay, the bracket is mounted into place, as you can see right there and right there. Okay. What I did, it's capped off for now, is I had to cut the fuel line back further because you can see what's going on here. I'm gonna have to get a hose now, put it on, and put it onto there, but it's gonna angle slightly. So I gotta do it and make sure it doesn't kink. So I'll go ahead and do that next, and I'll show you what I did. What we did, we mounted it to the side of the transaxle. Those are two 13mm nuts. Don't forget your washers. Now, I cut that pipe back a little bit further down here. I'm trying to get my finger in the camera down there. And just put a hose in place of it, okay? And then, of course, up front. So make sure everything is nice and sturdy. Safely operate your motor if you can in a safe manner, and check to make sure that it's not leaking anywhere, okay? And what I highly advise, after you drive it for, say, maybe, you know, an hour, 2 hours, whatever, you know, worth of drive time, just take a peek under there and make sure nothing bad happened, just to be safe, because we're talking about gasoline. So we're at the back here. You've got a connection up top here and one at the bottom of the fuel pump. I did remove the distributor cap to give me a little bit more clearance to get inside of here. And I removed the wire off of the solenoid. Don't forget to put these things back together. So let's get down in here first. Try to loosen this up. Hopefully we don't have gas going everywhere, which we probably will. So you just got to kind of be careful. I got Casey filming me today here, which is a big help. So you can get a better angle, even though my hand's going to be in front of you sometimes. Trying to get the clamp out of the way. And there it comes. Okay, and I'm gonna get another rag. And try to shove it down inside of here, just to catch some of it, so that we don't end up with gas all over the place. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave that right like that. We're going to go to the top one. That one's a little loose. So I got to pull it back. Did you do this one? That's okay. It was on there. There we go.
I felt up.
Okay, so it's going to slide off anyhow. Let me make it a little bit more loose. And there we go. Okay, let's see if this one will come right off. Sometimes they don't, they're very tight. I'm gonna get my screwdriver behind it. Sometimes you gotta cut these, literally slice them to get them off. But it is coming. Here it comes slowly. And boom. Okay, so let's get this up out of here. Here comes the gas out of the bottom. We don't want to get any in the distributor. That would be bad. Okay, I think it's emptied out now. We're gonna pull it up out. There we go. Oh, I didn't think you wanted to waste time watching me put the hoses on. But of course, there's the one there. And if you ever forget what's in and out, here's a picture here to show you what I'm talking about with the in and out on your fuel pump. Okay, so now you'll know what I mean by in and out. In from the tank, out to the carburetor, but that'll make sense. It's a nice handy chart. You'll find it on my website. I have that chart on there too. So, you come up around and up to the top. But the nice thing is, you no longer have a fuel filter sitting here in the compartment, because you got to figure your distributor's right here. If that fuel filter, which is plastic usually, will crack and start leaking. Well, it's going down in the distributor and you're going to have pretty bad engine fire. One thing I almost recommend to most people also is to use a Hastings GF1 fuel filter, and I'll show you it right here. Okay, so Casey is holding it.
Hola, folks.
That's a Hastings GF1, and it might be on there, I'm not sure, but it's a better filter to buy. It's all metal. You can get them on Amazon. Actually, I'll put a link in the description if you're looking for one. They fit the 5 and a 5.5 millimeter, and if you got 1/4 inch hose, you can at least crank it tight on there. So that's the metal one if you want to use that. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start the car up, and we want to check for leaks underneath, on top, and all over. Okay, Case, hit it, bud. Go underneath. Yeah, carburetor preheat. Very nice running engine. Still needs to warm up. Sit here for a while. Somehow how smooth that sounds. Very good, especially for a cold start. So got it, bud.
Thank you.
Okay, be back in 1 second. Okay, so I stopped, got cleaned up, we got a bite to eat, and now we're gonna go over Casey's car before he leaves and show you what he's got going on and what future plans he has for his car, which is relatively soon. He's gonna be starting on other things on it. And then we're gonna start on Chaos next weekend, pulling the engine out and rip it into her and redoing everything. So let's take a look at Casey's car. Okay, so let's take a look at the 74 Standard before he heads out. Very nice. This car has a nice stance. I have a picture you can look at right here. He sent that to me a few days ago, and what a great stance. He's running 2.5-inch drop spindles with 145s on the front, factory on the back. Are these factory on the back?
146.
On the back?
Yeah,
I think they're bigger. Let me see what we got. 165 80s. Okay, we got factories on the back. This is a really nice car. North Carolina car. You want to pop your trunk? I'm sorry, your deck lid. Even though we already seen, we'll look again. Very properly done. We got the SVDA distributor, which he has no dead spot or flat spot, so to speak, whatever you want to refer to it as. Stock exhaust on it. Motor is in very nice condition. Runs very smooth, as you just heard a couple minutes ago. But the car is in really good condition. Let's take a peek inside here. You want to show us inside, Casey?
Yeah. It's got 70,000 original miles on it.
Yep, 70,000 original. I forgot to bring that up. Got the bamboo tray. Got to have that. Everybody likes a flat dash. Got that in there. He's got a new dash pad to put on it, so I think that'll be a video him and I are going to do together. So, new dash pad. We'll put that on shortly. The previous owner did put seat covers on it, but you know what? I think they look nice. Back seat is in there. We got a little kitty carrier back there, which is really cool.
Well, that's the owner of the car's seat.
That's the owner of the car?
Yeah, she'll have the car in 9 years for my daughter, Piper.
And her name is Piper?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and this is going to be her car.
Gonna be her car. So I figured I'd buy it and slowly restore it, and eventually it'll be hers.
Well, how old is Piper now?
She's 7, so I have
7?
9 years to enjoy
You got a ways
myself.
to go yet.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
okay.
So,
I think we're going to get Piper in a video.
yeah, she wants to come over and help out for sure.
Okay, well then we're going to get Piper in some upcoming videos here because I think that'll be cool. I like the 2.5-inch drop spindles. The thing is, there's a misconception going on, is my driveway slanted a little. So no, his car sits perfectly level like you seen in the photo I just showed. He upgraded the headlights.
Yep.
And I'll show you them in a second. And look at that, how neat. Neat and clean. I love it.
Home Depot flooring.
Home Depot flooring?
Yep, from the garage.
He actually had sent me a text the one night on it, and this stuff is really nice. I'm definitely going to go that route on Chaos. Very, very nice. Good clean appearance. Inside the trunk even looks good. This car is in really nice condition. You want to pull your headlights on?
Sure.
He just upgraded the headlights. They actually look really nice. A little bit of, there you go. Nice. They look really good at night. They really do. And that is a nice upgrade to keep up with society when you're on the road at night. Let's take a look into the driver's side here real quick.
Yeah, those lights are night and day
Oh,
difference.
they got to make a big difference.
I even use that flooring for the mats too, because I temporarily had some extra, so I
Nice job.
yeah.
Cut nice and neat.
It's a daily driver, so it's not real clean.
Yeah, but that's what they're supposed to be. You don't want a trailer queen. The doors close really nice. Real easy. Very, very nice. I really like this car. I know upcoming within the next week, he's going to be putting a disc brake kit on the front.
Yeah, got disc brakes for the front and a new German master cylinder we're gonna put on. And then running boards and driving it to wintertime.
Yeah, bring it over. Let's get some stuff done on this. This is fun. I can juggle doing Chaos and help him back and forth. So leave some comments down there. This is really nice. Did you name her yet?
No, my daughter's still thinking.
Okay, that's cool.
But she's still thinking the color, so I think the color might play into the name.
Right, right.
So, but I'll keep you posted.
That's cool. Keep us posted on that. And we'll get little Piper in a video upcoming soon here. Maybe she can give me a hand in the garage at a video. I think that would be cool. Okay, so that was KC74 Standard. We're going to help him out, do some things, put a new dash in, and we'll do it in between while we're going ahead and ripping into Chaos and getting a lot done on her. Stay tuned. Next week's video, before we pull the engine out, I'm going to do a video on vapor lock, running hot, numerous things to keep your Beetle running cool. And that's it. Out comes the motor, out comes the transaxle, the front beam, strip the braking system down. Let's get to work.